thought, I got my scheduling all mixed up. For some reason it said past, but I meant to do it for top of the hour. But I thought I'd go live for a little hike. So let me know in the chat if you can see me, if you can hear me. Nice little reservoir. Who is here today? We're pretty high up, and this is a Q&A as well, so give me some questions. Hey Mina. Oh, hey Jen. Is the audio okay? Testing. I went live here for the first time testing this out. Hey Mark, how you doing? How? Audio's fine, cool. So excuse me if I'm out of breath. It's pretty high up, and I don't like ASMR. Thank you, Jen. And I'm holding it for the moment. All good. So I'm going to try and show you some water across, and who knows? Now be warned that... Hey Nicole, great to see you here. Be warned, and I should do hypnosis for this, but I do actually get vertigo when I'm very high. We've got people behind us as well, so I've got to act professional and not out of breath even. Phew. But let's see how far I can go on the hike. Hopefully our connection stays, and hopefully you've got some questions. Pushing this right behind me, but the marine layer is in the way. I'm out of breath. This is going to be a terrible live stream. Maybe we should stick to flat ones. Got these flyers as well. Yeah, weather's great. Alright, let me catch my breath while you take in the scenes. There's a little boat. Over there is the ocean. And look at all that. All green. Hey Ruby. Hey Linda, great to see you here. Now this is a steep drop, so I won't get too close. That goes all the way down. Yeah, it is a great view. We've got people behind us. They're following me. And I bet they're not out of breath. I haven't been down this way. So I had to drive to get here. Ooh. Almost slipped. Where does it lead us? I'll tell you where. A dead end. And a little switch thing. So that's no fun. I still want to know what they're going to do with that land right there. It could be, by the looks of it, if you zoom in here, I think they're avocados. And I think that could be a winery. Sorry, I'm being attacked by a ton of bugs, and I'm zoomed in a lot. How cool would that be for a winery? But that definitely looks like avocados. Any questions about life? About me? If you have any. Okay, we'll go back to where we were going to go and not explore dead ends. I don't know if you can hear the mosquitoes. Why are there mosquitoes? I have to clip this in, I think. Any questions? We're just over 54,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is great. And where'd I go? We have some hopefully play fighting crows. And hopefully my connection stays as well. Which I think it will, because there's a big tower. We're getting quite high now. Can you see them? Vertigo is okay. As long as the crows aren't vultures. Yes. I've seen a few hawks. What's an omen for a crow? Oh, look at that for a view. Yeah, there is music playing. I think someone's got a party going on. Sorry. One of those residential areas. Right. We're almost... Oh, look at this for a plane. Can you see that kind of directly toward us? I don't know if you can see it, I can't. I can't see it. Sound like they were having a, how do you say it? A quinceañera. You know, when, is it 16? In the Mexican tradition? Quinceañera. I'm not very good at pronunciations. Okay, more views. Oh, that's my face. Quinceañera. Is that right? I won't get too close to the edge. And another big aqueduct. Right. Off to the next place. So it's really awesome, whether you're religious or not. Over in this kind of area, at night, they light up these most amazing crosses. I've heard of quince. Okay, that'd be easier for me. Any questions? Trying to see who's in the chat. You can probably hear my car keys. Any updates? I was talking to my brother today, who's going to be working in my business. I'm getting him, well, he's doing this, he's wanting to do it, to do like the analysis of the app, because we're missing out on so much. And we've realizing that I get complaints sometimes that I don't do enough free things. So I had a review on Apple this morning, and it said, "There's nothing for free." And it was like, shameful as a title. And then, so I replied back, say, "Look, I've got over 1,100 free things on there. If you want them, reach out to me." But we've, on just a small bit of analysis, we're actually hiring a professional analytics guy who does like app development, or does it for apps. And I think my brother said today, it's like 90% of users of my app are non-subscribing, non-paying users. So technically, like, I think it was 90, if not, so let's say 85. Just don't fact check me yet. But 85% of users just use the free stuff anyway, so how can it not be there to help people? Have you made any hypnosis sessions with people who hate to go to the doctor? What do they call it? White coat syndrome? I could definitely do it. I haven't got one. And I should probably listen to it. Not that I'm fearful of doctors, I just... One sec. Time to think, feel. But yeah, I could definitely create one. Sorry, the sun's blocking the chat, so I want to go before. Yeah, that'd be cool. I've never been to one. Hey, Mary. I know. I thought I'd go live at this time because in England the clocks have changed and ours don't change till next weekend. So I thought maybe we would actually catch some people on the other side of the pond. I don't know if you can hear the mosquito. Oh, what's this marker say? Is anything good? Oh, I thought it'd be like a tourist marker. It's just a survey. Now, I'm not going up there, but that is a tower, so our connection should be good. But I want to show you this. So this is obviously a cross. And they light it up every night. So way off in the distance, I see this. If I'm in the area. How cool is that? Whether you're religious or not. You get quite a lot of that, I've noticed, in San Diego. Pretty cool though. Oh, there's a trail. Okay, we're not going off trail. Vertigo has been fine. Mosquito. Sorry, I'm not pointing the right way. 9:15 p.m. UK, 10. Yes. Well, we got some people coming this way, but I want to show you the view of what I see in a minute. It's a bit slippy. I've gone to the pre-season game of the Chargers, I think, once. Here. Do you think they light that one up at night? You might be right. It could be about the flying as well. Never thought about that. I know in the day they have those little red and yellow objects, or white ones. Why are there flowers? Alright, ready? Ready? It's a nice little lake. Which I've never been to. Looks pretty cool though. I don't want to, not that I'm famous or that popular, but sorry, my thing. I don't want to ever dox myself in case people, like unhinged people. But I've never been this far. So we'll persist to see where it goes. Yeah, so there's a place where I've hiked before. I'll probably do that on the descent because going up is crazy. It's like, I think it's not like directly 1,000 feet up or anything, but the hike itself equates to that amount of going up and down, up and down. So you climb an elevation of, look at this. I don't know if you can see. Can you see them? Header. I think that's swans, maybe? Oh yeah, I was saying, I'll take us, sounds weird. A hike which is that elevation, but obviously it's pretty intense, and the audio, i.e. my breathing would be terrible. But on the way down, we could definitely do. And you get amazing 365 degree views. And I went there once, years ago, for, what did you call it? Treason Day? Is it Treason Day? Independence Day. And you could, because of fireworks are banned, so you can see them across like the ocean. So that's pretty cool. Red tiled roofs, oh yeah. I would say that's pretty Spanish almost. Yeah, my hummingbirds have been a little in a migration mode at the moment. Although I'm still filling up the hummingbird feeder over once per day. So once in the morning, and then once as they've had their last drink for the night before they got to go home. But I should definitely, there must be a restaurant over there. Let's zoom in if I can. I think there's a restaurant over there somewhere. I used to take myself out to a restaurant once a week by myself. And I haven't done it for such a long time, and I should. Hey, my friend. I think I know who you are because of the blessed seed. But YouTube's all messed up. Is it for you? Like, you can only see users' names? But how you doing? Are you doing your... the readings still? But I want the conspiracy of non-sunglasses. That's what I thought. Well, that's who I thought. Is this a dead end? Oh, I think we're going into the residential now, which is a bit boring. You can see there was a fire here once. Because of that, those trees. Not many questions yet. But yeah, I'm believing in the conspiracy of sunglasses trick your eyes to thinking that it's dark, of course, so therefore your body doesn't produce. That's very conspiracy theory, isn't it? Here's what Mary says, medical organizations emphasize the dangers of exposing, right from the beginning. If I were to be a conspiracy theorist, I'd go, medical organizations? Who are these organizations? But I'm only kidding. Yes. Not eaten yet. No vertigo. I'll tell you what, at night though, here, although this is like a, what do you call it, like a utility path to get to the tower, there will be so many coyotes. Maybe a mountain lion. Oh yeah, so my app, 85 or so % of the users are actually free users, which is interesting. What do you think about that? 85%. Obviously from a business side, I want them to be subscribers so they get access to all the sessions at an affordable price. What are those rocks covering up? Who would do that? This one, I'm going back, but I might go a different route too. I've never been down this far. Sorry, out of breath. The last live stream, I intend to go just out, well, into the wilderness, but I went too deep in election. Thought I'd stay semi-residential. Usually I like loops because you can time them, but I like going far out knowing you've got to come back the same distance. Good question, Mark. Yes. I've got quite good analytics, but this analytic guy, like, I'm just a creator. So, and obviously bit business. but I'm not the best at all the things. So I've neglected the analytical side for just producing content. However, we're going to be integrating systems like Mixpanel is a good program. We'll be using Firebase, which I do already. And we do have some stats, but we can get better ones. And then we're going to be able to not track the actual users, like who they are, but like a hotspot map. See where they're dropping off on the onboarding, or are they just interested in sleep sessions more? Where do they drop off in the retention, lifetime value? Because the more I can understand, the better I can deliver. So yes, we'll be getting quite a lot of stats. But I know, like, active users, so there's just based on memory, I might be wrong. I think on an average 30-day period, we have, I think, around 30,000 users using the app in that 30-day cycle. And 85% of those are free users. Now, I want to be very conscious here, by the way. I'm not trying to get into the whole, I want to make money, which I do, of course. But I want people to get affordable, in my opinion, free access to the biggest library of hypnosis in the world. That's what I'm after. I want to help as many people as possible at the cost of around what was it, $40 a year, I think it is at the moment. And the new features coming into play, hopefully maybe in a week. I do pass for interesting things. I should keep an eye out for more. They usually do the whole rock stacking. I'm just catching up on chat. But I don't see any rock stacking. Oh, sorry to hear about that, Linda. But I remember when you had that hiccup on that injury, and then the very next day you were healed. And it's great to get that email from you saying so. Made me feel very, very good. Listen to the most, probably. I know longer streaked users, with check-in. I know the most favorited top 20, 30 hypnosis session. So I've got quite a lot of that data. I've got real-time data. I can go onto my app now, or a different app, for real-time users and around the locations. Yes, it is. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, good analytics report. Yeah, so we're hiring this guy. He's super good. His day rate is like £700. I'm not paying that much. It'll be 400, I think. And I think we're going to get him for about a week's work, or 3 or 4 days. And then we're going to get my app devs to do it. So as in like install, so we can track the certain places of the app, see where there's like any leakages, or if people like, for example, the onboarding. If it's a rubbish onboarding, people will give up on the app and not get the help they need. So if they're dropping off on the 5th screen or the 4th screen, then they've downloaded and not even used it. So we want all that data. Linda says, is it true on YouTube, if you start an episode, you need to stay on there 30 minutes or it hurts your stats? It depends. I don't really know, but as an example, I think it'll be less about the minutes and more about a certain percentage of that video. So if it's like a 10-minute video, it might be 3 minutes. If hearing things in bushes, which doesn't sound like wind, kind of puts me off a little bit. But yeah, I think they treat the algorithm that bit better. What a crows. Okay, so Mina, for you, that's one thing I've got to fix. So for new non-subscribers, so here's how my app works. Every time you open the app, it checks to see if you have a subscription or a product purchase. Because at the end of the day, if someone cancels a Netflix, you're not going to have access to Netflix. So it checks every time. But sometimes, depending on your connection, oh, I hear the music again. Depending on your connection, it might take anywhere between a millisecond to 3 seconds. So when you open the app, technically you're a non-paying user. And that little gift box is a prompt to get them to subscribe at the yearly, because that's the biggest discount compared to monthly. Like monthly is like $10 a month, yearly's like $39. And it obviously depends where you are and which country. So you're a free user at that point, and as soon as it logs you in, I go, oh, Mina's got an account, it takes away that gift box because you've got the big discount already. But ideally, I probably need to get the app developer to put the gift box on a delay of like, say, 5-10 seconds to avoid that. Why do people rock stack? Just for fun, or is there more to it? I don't know. I thought it's very zen. That's what I thought. It's like a peaceful zen thing. That's funny, Mark. I'm trying to come up with reframes for everything. Like, if you say you're not confident, how confident are you at being not confident? If you're indecisive, when did you decide to be indecisive? I'm trying to come up with reframes. Like, if you don't believe you're like enough, you've got to be pretty certain. I've got to refine that one. I've got to think. Anyway, it'll come back to me. Sometimes your show is where you can send the hype points to you, and there is an opportunity to send you hype points. Do you know why? I think it might be a back-end settings. I set this live stream via the phone because you've got to. I did briefly see when I went on the back end before on my computer, because I wanted to change the thumbnail, that it would it had some things turned on, turned off, but I was in a rush to get out, so I'm not sure, but it's probably a me issue. Your instinct is spot on. People are used to seamless end-to-end experiences and their patience often limited. Counterintuitively, they will have less patience with something they don't pay for. Yeah. I need to correct all of that stuff. Ooh, I love those reframes. Kind of shuts down the initial issue. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thanks for explaining. I felt like I was a fish that got away. Yeah, I need to change that. Height points, I don't know what they are either, but I have heard of them. I think it might be money though, like gifted points. I'm not sure. Trying to look for something suspicious. Sorry about my hair as well. I'm trying to read. Reframing indecision is tricky. Do you decide to be indecisive, or did you not? You had to decide at once to be indecisive. Did we come out of the womb indecisive? And if we're indecisive, if we like choose to label ourselves as indecisive, we've decided on something. And then you can kind of, because the whole point of reframing, by the way, is not to let go of the whole issue all the time. I mean, it can do, but it's trying to take the generalization of an issue, like the everything, the whole, you call it the macro, into more of a micro issue or a smaller issue, kind of break it down. So for example, I love this one, and I'll try and come up with others, because when I teach this in my practitioner, these are the examples I always go to. If I had a client who was going through an illness, and I'm not treating them for illness, but dealing with like the psychology of preparation and stuff. I'm only saying that legally because I'm not a doctor or anything, right? So I want to go, and they came to me and they believed cancer causes death. Like, if they had held that belief fully, is that going to be good for them, or is it going to be a potential negative for them? Now, of course, holding a belief like that is going to be negative more than positive. So then my job would be, how can I reframe that belief they have about that? So I would say, would you want your children to have that belief? And they go, oh, no. Or I could go, what if every scientist in the world believed that it was inevitable that it would cause death? Well, no, that wouldn't work either, because scientists believe there's a cure out there. What if cancer causes life? Now, before you shout at me, some people have the most amazing wake-up calls through illness. It's like they've been living a life of just 9 to 5, not living life, and suddenly I have this wake-up call. So are there people out there who have had a wake-up call? So you've got to try to reframe. And once you get good at reframing, it just makes life so much easier. In my decision. Oh, where's my chat gone? Right. So I'm trying to scroll. Mary says, I've got a way of inspiration of thinking about how to go live and live. I wish I could read. You're risking talking to yourself and not knowing what will happen. It shows it's worth putting yourself out there. Yeah. Why not? I could be just a voiceless person, I guess, but I don't see value in not putting myself out there, even if there was a consequence. I don't disagree with you, but if you are indecisive and perhaps you don't recognize that as a decision in itself, no, you're dead on. And that's why we start to reframe them, right? If a client came to me and said, I want to let go of my indecision, my self-sabotage, because it's causing me to self-sabotage, I would playfully go, when did you decide that? And then it just kind of like think differently. Like they just have a different spin on it, if that makes sense. So no, we're not in, I know you said I don't disagree. But we're actually all agreement. Hype is giving points to your favorite app to put them higher on YouTube favorites. Oh, nice. Without expectation, just to see what happens, I've been hiding and thus not seeing who might show up. Exactly. Ugh, I label myself as indecisive. One boyfriend complained that I never knew what I wanted for dinner, but I knew what I didn't want. I guess knowing what you didn't want will lead you to eventually to what you do want. And this is a huge generalization. But I would say, like it's a generalization, not true, but that is a generalization which a lot of people will say. Yeah, reframing is a solution for sure. The dinner debate is a classic doom loop. Yep. I can hear the music. I think it's live music. Any other questions? We've been streaming for 41 minutes now. What other reframes? At least knowing you don't want eliminates the unnecessary. Exactly. So another one I do is you being late means you don't love me. That is a complex equivalence. So they're equivalent. Can you use equivalating a word? Let's say it is. They're doing this crazy equivalence. They're attaching love to lateness or being on time. And a lot of people do that, right? And you'd kind of like, a reframe would be, you could put it into outside of self, onto other people, different context or a different content. So in a different context, it would be, well, so for personal actually, a good one would be, I wanted to finish up everything at work, so that means I could spend all my quality time with you without thinking about work. Or you could go, have you ever loved someone and been late? Maybe when you're younger, maybe in a relationship. Could it be a surgeon was finishing up would a brain surgeon, well, let's think about this. If a brain surgeon had to finish his surgery to save a life, which meant he'd be late, or her be late, would that mean that he didn't or she didn't love his wife or husband? Oh, that's awesome, Linda. Thank you. When I was younger, there was always two choices for dinner, yes or no. That's exactly true. I was saying this a while ago. When growing up, I honestly only went to a restaurant occasionally for my birthday, or if we're on vacation or a holiday. So if we went to like France or Spain or something, and it wouldn't be every night. Like we would eat out one night, eat in, like get some like fresh bread and things like that. But now it seems like people eat out often. But when I grew up, I probably went to a restaurant like 4 times at the very most. The age of convenience. Am I seeing a different wildlife getting cooler? No, not really. Some hummingbirds have gone on their migration. I just noticed it getting darker. Hey, who said I should be sitting down? I should be hiking. Hi. I'm not even sure no was a choice for us. I remember sitting at the table all night long. Yeah, you're not leaving the table until you finish this. But question, did you go out for restaurants growing up? Sometimes we'd have like, so in England, like it'd be fish and chips or something on like a Friday night. But back then, fish and chips was like, feed a family for like £5 probably. Or £10 maybe. Anyway, that's my ramble. No, grew up in the UK and my experience was the same as yours. Yeah. How about for those in America then? My dad liked buffets. We would eat them. We would do that every now and then. Honestly, I don't think the first time I probably went to a buffet, and get this, for those in America, was when I first went to America, and it was Sizzler. And I'm sure you know what Sizzler's like. I haven't been since I've been here, living here. I don't know if they're still around, to be honest. But that was like the first buffet I probably ever had. There has been like all-inclusive hotels later as well, though. But they're obviously, it's kind of buffet food anyway. We didn't go out often. We lived out in the country. Oh yeah, that's going to do it as well. Furs. I've never heard of it, so maybe they don't exist. But what about Sizzler though? I've seen one Sizzler in California. But it was right next to these cheap apartments we were staying at in Florida. Yeah, exactly, if you're on the road. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I'm going to take it back. You just remind me of something. Actually, it still counts. Probably was first time in America. But Pizza Hut, they used to be like restaurant more based. I don't know what Pizza Huts are like in England still. But they used to have like unlimited pizza and like a salad bar. So I guess that's a buffet. We went out for special occasions, like birthdays, but most often we would eat at home. Yeah, same. Now, I'm getting into complaining mood. I was going to say, now there's just kids and iPads. Coming from the person who's speaking into his device while he's on a hike. The hypocrisy. Or the double standard. I've never had a Godfather's pizza, but I guess I didn't make it to England. First time I had a cinnamon roll was actually in America too. But I think it would have been like Cinnabon, the actual place. Great self-development talk, this. Oh, that's awesome, Linda, having a large vegetable garden. At my old place, my old house, we grew, I'm going to say it in English, then I'm going to say it in American. We grew herbs. We grew herbs. Oh, nothing weird. I'm getting more residential now. Streaming for 50 minutes. Take that. See anything weird? Look, if we're on a hike, it could be like this. Rather just looking backwards. Have a good one, Mary. Yeah, we'll probably close off the stream anyway. Because we've always... Should we take it to the hour? Unless you've got questions, of course. I've got to get back to my car. And then I got to eat. I've been working all this morning as well. And this afternoon. Oh, tomorrow live stream is going to be a power talk. That's all set up. So for those in Europe, if your clock's changed, it'll be an hour earlier. So UK 10 p.m. I think that's I thought I saw a hummingbird. Yes. No. I don't know the subject yet. It's still formulating. But it's going to be how fear is good. I want to be like, I want to reframe fear, since we're talking about reframing. And I'm going to make it selfishly all about me. Otherwise I'm going to talk about 4 or 5 pivotal moments in my life which were game changers because of fear. No, I realized eating once a day did not work well for me. I couldn't consume the calories of protein in that short window. But I am down a pound or 2. Hey, this trail's going up. I wanted to go down. Yeah, it'd be a good one. And I'm going to say as well, some of the things I did, even though I absolutely did not want to, and I had no reason to do it, some of these things, but I did it to prove a point. Here we go. My shadow's in the way. Have a good day. Yeah, it'll be a good one. So, it's a bit like Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. The famous book by Susan or Sue. Can't remember. But I used to do, let's feel the fear, even though I didn't have to do it, just to prove a point that I could do it, even though I didn't want to do it. And those events have really expanded me on because a lot of the events, I'm a very insular guy. I'm very introverted. So I just chose, but I felt like I was getting stagnation. So I chose to do things to be able to change that. Susan Jeffers? Yeah, I think that sounds about right. So behind you is a tower that you were just near. Yeah. Up there. We went down there. We went all the way around the mountain. I call it a mountain. It's definitely a mountain for me. Okay, we got 4 minutes from now before we finish. 56 minutes gone. I started module 10 today and made me stop and think about my core issue. Not that what it is, but how and when it came an issue. Oh wow. I actually sent you an email, Mark. Did you get my email? I forgot to mention that. I've learned through your program that I love overcoming challenges. It gives me a feeling of power, which I never had before in my life. I hid from challenges. That's awesome, Linda. Yeah. Even if we just get the power of choice. Awesome. That's all good. It's like, Mark, reply to me, Mark. I was questioning myself. It's like, oh my goodness. I thought we were friends. I'm only kidding, or not the friend part, but kidding about. I've been crazy busy as well. Wednesday, I've got a presentation to give for 90 minutes to an agency, a government agency. That sounds kind of cool, actually, doesn't it? I'd like to be able to teach the FBI a bit of hypnosis. Yeah, can't be everywhere. Why not? Aren't we just consciousness in a sea of consciousness, interconnected through energy? There's more space within us than not. So why not? What if you could be everywhere? What would you do differently? I remember when Mark couldn't be everywhere, but now we can. Right, we've got 1.5 minutes left. Thank you all for joining me on the stream. Let me know very, very, very quickly if you want me to do streams like this. Because I could be listening to something. I don't know where I'm going. We'll keep going. Just put a yes in the chat. Or a no. You can say no if you don't find them interesting. Because I could happily just listen to a podcast or music or think. I'm not saying that for any other reason, because I don't want to hurt the channel or the audience and things like that. I want to make sure that we deliver on what you want. Okay, switch hand for the last minute. But there we have it. You got yes, as long as I want to, yes. Yeah, can you walk more today? No. Yes, but with the caveat that you shouldn't feel obligated. No, I enjoy doing them. I just want to make sure it's interesting. For someone who's an introvert, I do like to talk a lot. Because usually I'm just thinking it. So I might as well speak it. I'm a thinker. Yes, you tried. But we made it to 1 hour right now. And I'm semi-close to my car. So, there we go, Mark. We did it. We did the live stream. So thank you all. Leave a little, after this stream, I'll make sure it's not to redirect, so go ahead and leave a little comment. Say, I don't want to do these streams anymore, or you do want these streams, and I'll try and do it on a weekly or fortnightly. 2 weeks, in other words. I know in America I don't always use fortnightly. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Okay, my friends. Have a good one. Look at those cheers. Or shouts, I think that is actually not a cheer. Must be a football game. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Linda, again. Thank you, Mina. Okay, how do I end this? Many thanks, and goodbye.